No, Rudolph Speid is the coach for the Reggae Boyz. So what that means is he has appointed himself, self that he will also be advising as well, and then he will also be carrying out the job that he has hired himself to advise himself to carry out. Make it make sense.
Welcome back to Davin Speaks Football, and the Jamaican football fan base is not taking it good as regards to the appointment of Rudolph Speid. So there is an online protest, soon to be a actual protest. Now, if you're not really familiar with what exactly is happening, I'm going to play two videos from the one from the halftime analyst and one from Craig Butler, and I'll let you know my thoughts on this afterwards.
So certain things, you see, if you not see it with the eyes, people will tell us a lie. I tell. See, like this come like a show. Right now we are watching a show. Yeah. As you can see, Rudolph Speid has been appointed the interim coach of the Reggae Boyz. Yeah, Rudolph Speid. And if you don't understand what this means in the grand context, let me break it down for you. Right? Rudolph Speid is the head of the technical committee, which means Rudolph Speid is the one who hires coaches. Next, Rudolph Speid was granted a position where he is the special coach's advisor. So basically, he was the one advising Coach Steve McLaren after he was the one who appointed Coach Steve McLaren. And guess what? No, Rudolph Speid is the coach for the Reggae Boyz. So what that means is he has appointed himself, self that he will also be advising as well, and then he will also be carrying out the job that he has hired himself to advise himself to carry out. Make it make sense.
Live. It will be a direct one, and it's very clear, as you said before, that this whole thing was engineered. Rudolph Speid was appointed as chairman of the technical committee, and the chairman of the technical committee selects the coaches and players for the competition. Rudolph Speid went out and he selected Steve McLaren, whose track record shows a very failed coach, be able to hold on the position for more than a year, and fired many times for incompetence. It's not nice, the things that I have to say, but it's true. And so he selected him. And once he selected him and had him going, Speid then appointed himself as this advisor to the coach. So all the decisions that were being made by the coach was advised by Rudolph Speid. It is very clear that the coach, the players don't relate to Speid, don't like it, they don't speak. Maybe King. But when this whole debacle came up, I realized early that they were going to put Speid in, because the person who was going to select the new coach is the chairman of the committee. Then the chairman of the committee is the person who offers himself a coaching job. So it's really ridiculous to us to even look at other coaches. Any coach that comes in is going to be a figurehead, or Speid will run it. Because while this is a major conflict of interest, it must be clear why he does it. In most European countries, to safeguard their homegrown talent, meaning the players that are born in their country, they require that any club that wants a player has to, for example, in England, get a player that has 75% of this country's last 15 games is a start. So, in the national team. So, if you want to get a work permit, you have to get qualified in that way. So, Speed uses position in the JFF to include all these young players so they can get the jobs, because he hopes that they'll be able to use the jobs to get the work permit in England so that they can sign a contract. There's only one other way that I know of, and it's called the special talent clause, which allows a club that if they're going to pay over 10 million for the player, they forget about the qualifications for the players because that's special. So that's why Speed has been so actively involved in the national team. It's really a money making thing to try and get his players. So unfortunately, what this has resulted in is Leon Bailey never played under 13, under 17, or under 20 for Jamaica, or under 15. None of them. Neither did this. And that was engineered by Speed. So now that he is the head coach of the national team, I really wish us well, because the bias will continue. And they'll try to put the bias on me and Phoenix, and the pressure, because what happens is, because Speed is in control of the national team, if you want to make the national team, you have to leave and wherever club you come from and go to his. That's why he was able to steal 3 of my players this year. Denzel McKenzie, Mario Thomas, Michael Forbes. All went there thinking life was going to be better for them. That's not how it works. Luckily for me and for Phoenix, I've built very strong relationships and a reputation overseas. And so, for Jamaica, it is really sad and saddening, because now I know even more than ever he's going to, the national team will not have the support that they need. And he's going to try and block a lot of my players like Leon Whisper. Can you imagine? He was the one who was there behind McLaren telling him not to play with Spain.
Now, my take on this is that why wasn't Miguel Coley given the job as the actual interim or head coach, and then have Rudolph Speed stay on as an advisor as he is already? I mean, you'd have to foresee that Jamaicans would react this way, especially seeing that you were already in a position to be able to make such a call, to get in McLaren and to advise McLaren and to be such an integral part in it. You would have to foresee that Jamaicans look at it sideways, saying that you basically appoint yourself, whether or not it actually goes that way. So it's looking like JFF don't really care what the reaction of the Jamaican people is like, and they're just gonna do whatever they want. That's what it looks like right now. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, guys. Let me know if you think Rudolph Speed is the right person, whether it should have been Miguel Coley, whether it should have been someone else, because there were lots of names thrown out there. You guys let me know what you think about this whole debacle and who you think should have been the appointed coach. Thanks for watching.